He didn't understand. I was so sad that Gambian president right now, Adam Barrow, before he became a president, he was in Germany working like a migrant. From Germany, he went to UK. From Germany himself, before he got to UK, he deported himself because German was too difficult for him. The Gambian president right now, he deported himself back to Gambia because German was too difficult. So I think as a man who lived in Germany as a migrant, working like a slave for white peoples, and go to Inglaterra also, be a gate man, guiding peoples, working like a slave, you should understand the system. So when you become a leader in Africa, I think you should be wiser than any other African leader because you live among your enemies, so you know the system of them. You know what they do, what they plan. So when he finally became the president, first of all, they call him in Chattanham. The people who support him in his political career, Tony Blair and Boris Johnson and other puppets and other racist peoples in the UK, they call him in Chattanham about the LGBTQ, to ask him about the LGBT, because that was the main reason they supported him in his political career to become a president in Gambia. That was the main reason Tony Blair and Boris Johnson in UK supported the Gambian president to push him into power. When they call him in UK in Chattanham, they ask him two questions that are very relevant to them, but not relevant to Africans. Number one was the democracy. Mr. President, how do you see democracy? Oh, democracy, we are already in democracy. Now that country, we change it. We accept democracy. Okay. Mr. President, you see, oh, that is very good. As I think your people will be very happy about you. These are the things they were telling him, but he don't understand. As a white man praising you, meaning that you are a fool. That's what you must understand. A white man can never praise a black man when you are not a fool. They only call a black intelligent man a stupid man. But they only call a black fool. A black fool, they only praise you always. You are good, you are nice, you are intelligent. No, you are a fool. If a black man, white man stand to praise you, he is killing you. That's why he's praising you. He is not praising you. He is proud of what he is taking away from you. Not you. He don't like you. So they were praising him in Chattanham when he already accepted the democracy in Gambia. Number two, Mr. President, what do you think about this LGBT man and man, woman and woman? He said, I think for me, it is not a problem in my country. This was the word from the president. I watched the video almost 2 hours. I was sitting and watching that video. He said, no, it's not a problem, you know. For me, everyone is equal in my country. We are trying to fight for this equal right and justice. So I think it's normal in my country. We don't have problem. This is not a problem of my country. LGBTQ is not a problem of your country. As a president, you sit and tell the white people that LGBT, because you know when you tell them that I will not accept LGBT, that you know that they don't want to hear that. You know it. That white people don't want to hear that. That as an African leader, you don't want to accept LGBTQ. You know it. The Gambian president know it. And these two reasons, to put Gambia into democracy and to put Gambia into global economy and to put Gambia into LGBTQ. LGBTQ was first represented by American president to the Gambian former president who refused to accept. The Gambian former president, Jambe, that's why I love him so much. You know, that man, I will wish for that man to become a president again in Gambia. If that man cannot become a president in Gambia, I will wish somebody to become a president in Gambia who will be more dictatorship than that man. Jambe is not a dictator, but we understand when Western peoples describe our leaders as a dictator, we understand that they are the good leaders for Africa. The ones they call dictators. They are the good leaders for Africa. The one they call good leaders, they are the bad ones for Africans. Because as an African leader, when you wicked your own people, you become harsh on your own peoples, the West call you a good leader. As an African leader, when you feel your peoples, you fight for your peoples, they call you, you know what they call you, how they call you. When you stand for your people, fight for your people, they call you a dictator. So I think every African must be used to this system now. We must understand the game that West is playing or not. You know, because they make us like this to remove our good leaders by ourselves. At the end of the day, like they removed Mohammed Gaddafi and the Gambian former president by using your own peoples against you. Telling your own people your president is a dictator, your president is a dictator, and everybody, Africans started to wake up and remove the good president that they have. They didn't understand the game that the West was playing on you. This is what the West have been doing to us For many decades now, Africans use their own hands by killing their own great peoples. Why? Because the West told them that they are bad peoples or they are dictators. This is the fact. But I think right now, as we are speaking, many Africans have already woke up. And I'm proud of Africans, seeing every corner of Africa, the youths have woke up to know their right and to know what belongs to them and to take it, either in peace or in pieces. That is the only way. We must understand the game these people play on Africa. We must emphasize it to our peoples, to let our peoples know that Africa must be free. Gaddafi was good. There was no leader in Africa that was hard working like Mohammed Gaddafi at that moment, in Mohammed Gaddafi regime. There was no leader at that moment who was working harder like Mohammed Gaddafi. Mohammed Gaddafi was understanding, was working hard for his peoples, was trying to make sure that his peoples are never lack of anything in that country. That's why Libyans were never going out for hustle, because they have everything in the country. You need car is in the country. Any kind of car you need, the country is creating it by itself. Fuel is there, cheap price. To build a house cheap, food as cheap, everything is cheap in the country. Mohammed Gaddafi was paying every Libyan citizen every month. Mohammed Gaddafi was giving money to every Libyan that want to get married. Mohammed Gaddafi was given the chance to every Libyan male child to become a military. Mohammed Gaddafi worked hard. Make light free for Libyans. Libyans were never paying light bill. Libyans were never paying water bill. There is no country in this planet or no continent in this planet that have it except Mohammed Gaddafi. No president will raise his hand since the world was created. No president will raise his hand and said, in my country, I work hard and make sure that my people have light free and water free. Mohammed Gaddafi was the first president since the earth was created. Was the first leader who created this opportunity for his peoples. But what happened at the next? When Mohammed Gaddafi was creating these things, opportunities for his peoples, the West was not worried. They were saying like, okay, it's okay. As far as he's doing it for only Libyans, he is not trying to emphasize it to another African country so we can steal from other African countries. It's okay. Well, the time that Mohammed Gaddafi stood up and said, the whole Africa must be united. When Mohammed Gaddafi finally realized that if only Libya is liberated and all other African countries are not liberated, then still Libya is not liberated, because we will still run and come to Libya. And that is going to be a disaster for him. So he have to make sure that all Africans are united and let Africa be built by Africans and let Africa use one currency, one passport, and one military and one leadership. This was the biggest problem for the West. They knew that Mohammed Gaddafi have the power and the experience and the plan that he can do it. They didn't say, no, he cannot do it. No, they believe this and they know this, that Mohammed Gaddafi have the power and the capacity to do it. Because they know who is Mohammed Gaddafi. Whatever he wants, he do it. He have resources. He will not beg nobody for nothing. He can do everything by himself. His currency is in the highland. His currency is not like France CFA or any other African currency out there. Mohammed Gaddafi currency, there was sometimes that Mohammed Gaddafi, the Libyan currency dinar, was even higher than the euro. There was some time that the Mohammed Gaddafi currency, Libyan currency, was higher than the euro. So Mohammed Gaddafi have the power. So what do they do next? To tell Libyans that Mohammed Gaddafi is a dictator, Mohammed Gaddafi is a terrorist, is this, is that. Libyans started to fight against Mohammed Gaddafi. They started to create some terrorist groups, started to send some weapons to Libya, started to form some of their own part of militaries in Libya, among Libyan militaries, and started to fight against Mohammed Gaddafi. This is how Libya destroyed begins. And later they said, Mohammed Gaddafi, your people say they don't want you, come down. You have to go down. If you don't go down, America is shouting, if you don't go down, we will invade Libya. France is shouting, if you don't go down, we will invade Libya. From there, we hear Germany shouting, if you don't go down, we will invade your country. All these countries that were shouting on Mohammed Gaddafi before, all these countries are countries that were owing Mohammed Gaddafi billions of euros. They couldn't pay it back. That's why they were the first people to shout, because they were praying for Mohammed Gaddafi to go down so that they will not be able to pay those debt. They were owing Mohammed Gaddafi $1 billion. The World Bank today is not saying nothing. The World Bank is owing Mohammed Gaddafi. Why they don't return the money? Even if Mohammed Gaddafi is dead, Libya still have government. Why they don't return the money to Libyan militaries? The World Bank is owing Mohammed Gaddafi. The World Bank is a thief. They are thieves. The World Banks, they are thieves. I'm the one who said it. My message should reach to the World Bank. I said they are thieves. The World Bank is a Western bank that is the Eastern Western terrorist or Western bandit bank that they steal from Africa and store it there. The World Bank is a thief bank. It's a criminal bank. The human rights, so-called human rights organization that was built by Western peoples, the so-called terrorist organization that they call human rights organization. I call it a terrorist organization. Human rights organization is a terrorist organization. You know, the so-called European Union. Who is European Union? You know, we must understand something. These people are terrorists and they are killers and they are thieves. But nobody is calling them that name. Nobody, everybody feel afraid to call them that name. Well, there must be people who will not feel afraid to die or feel afraid to be locked up, and they will speak out the truth as is this. Africa will not lose. Africa always have people who will never fear to die. They will always come out to speak the truth. When you kill 1, 2 will come. When you kill 2, 10 will come. You can't stop Africans from rising. Because whenever you see, you know, the West understand this, that whenever they assassinated an African great man, they see another young great ones wake up again. When they kill 1, 2 wake up. When they kill 2, 4 wake up. When they kill 4, 8 wake up. And this is how it will be going. So, you know, till we all wake up. Till a time when you kill thousands, you see 2,000 wake up. Then you will be tired. You know? When you assassinated John Pombe Magufuli, you assassinated, you know, when they assassinated Mohammed Gaddafi, yeah, Gambia was there, the Gambian former president, and John Pombe Magufuli was there. You know, they killed Mohammed Gaddafi, assassinated Mohammed Gaddafi. 2 great leaders came out again to stand like Mohammed Gaddafi. Then they pushed Gambians to remove the former president of Gambia, yeah, Gambia. And they poisoned John Pombe Magufuli. You know, we have another great leaders again. They assassinated those great leaders. We have Pan-Africans. You know, they try to put Pan-Africans in prison by their governments. We have another Pan-Africans again. Now we have militaries on text. We have no more Pan-Africans, but we have militaries and Pan-Africans. Militaries who are even becoming Pan-Africans. That's what is happening right now. Militaries are becoming Pan-Africans in Africa, and that is very interesting to see a military becoming a Pan-African, because we need them on the board. They are the only peoples who can help us. Not to speak for us, not to fight for us, protect us. Let us do the job. We don't need the militaries to fight. We don't need them to die for us. No, just protect us. And we will do the fight. We will do the speaking. We will do the awakening for Africans. We understand, James. So till they understand this, that Africa can never be stopped of our rising. Poverty in Africa is not like Africans, it's a system on Africa. That even in Europe, we have a system on European citizens. You know, it's not only in Africa that the Westerners are destroying. They even destroy their own people, because in their own people, in their own countries, if you come to the West, they have a system on their own people. Whoever is rich will remain rich forever. Whoever is poor will remain poor. His generation will come, they will remain poor. Whoever is rich in Europe will remain rich forever. But whoever is also poor will remain poor forever in Europe. Their own citizens. Their own European citizens. Their own citizens don't even understand that system. Mostly, I don't talk about their system because I don't care whatever they do there with their peoples. They do with their peoples. So the same, they put it like a general system as a general system on Africans. That African soil is rich, but Africa will never be rich. Africans are never going to be rich. They will always remain in poverty, in hunger, when Africa have everything on under their legs. But they will still be poor. to bend down to pick it, they will be unable to do it. You are searching for food. When you are walking, you find food lying down on the floor. To bend down to pick it, you couldn't do it. So that is Africa. We have everything on our legs. But to bend down and pick it, Africa cannot. Why? Because we are afraid that the West is looking at us. And that's why the West tell us that those foods under our legs are not good, are bad foods. But the West is coming to Africa to take that food from under our legs. And the same West is telling us that those food under our legs are not good. We believe it. We must understand the system of the West, my peoples. We must understand. Coups in Africa, people says military ruling. I saw someone, I don't know what is his name, though. I watch him on a TV show saying that the coups in Africa, we are proud of it, but it's not good, it's bad because democracy is something that must be stay in Africa. Democracy is good in Africa. We must understand. Nobody wants war in Africa. We the Africans, when we unite, when we stick together, when our brains is always in the same target, we are going to understand that coup in Africa can never cause war in Africa. Because no matter how militaries make coup against a leader who is foolish and who is a puppet, who is a threat to Africa. Militaries made a coup to a leader who is bad. Even we citizens, we don't appreciate that leader. Militaries don't make a coup to a president that was supported by the whole country. Do that happen? No. So militaries make a coup against a leader who we already don't like. So who will make the war? Are we going to fight the militaries because they make coup against a leader who is disturbing us every day? Who is killing us every day? Are we going to fight the militaries because they bring that bad leader down? Instead, we will be supporting them. So if we support them, there will be no war. Military coup can never make a war in a country. It's only that when we, the citizens, some of the African citizens will be paid by the West to go and make problems saying that, oh, we want our president back, we want our president back. In Niger, it happened. When they pay some youths to boycott and go and stand on their own saying that we want Bazoum, we want democracy. Those youths were paid by the West to do that job. In Ghana, it happened. In Niger coup time, there are some Ghanaians and some Nigerians who they pay in Ghana to go and do demonstration on the street to say that we want Bazoum, we want Bazoum. They were doing it. As I'm sure many of you have watched those videos. So the West is causing that. They pay those Africans. So when those Africans are intelligent, they will not allow the West to pay them to go to the street to cause conflict. Because those are the things that make conflict, that cause conflict in a country. Because the West didn't know what to say, why they want to invade Niger. They didn't know what to say because they have already seen that Nigerian citizens are in support of the coup. And all African youths are in support of the coup. So they didn't know what to say because they cannot invade Niger when the citizens are happy with the military leader. They cannot. The world will judge them for it. The world is going to judge them for it. Why do you want to invade Niger when we ask them? When you ask them today, why do you want to invade Niger? Why do you want to fight the military coup leader? What will they say? Nothing. But to have something to say, they have to pay some African youths to go out on the street and say, we want Bazoum in the power, we want democracy. So that when they want to invade Niger or fight against the military coup leader Abdurrahman, they will say, oh, because we have seen some citizens are against him and they want democracy, they want this. So you see, the West use Africa to find something to say. How they will destroy Africa. So that's why I speak to Africans. We must understand. Don't let the West to pay you to go and do demonstration. When inside you know that coup that happened in Niger is a good thing for Africa. But you have been paid. So many youths have been paid. They gather some Niger citizens, some Ghanaian citizens in Ghana, inside Ghana. They paid them to go and do demonstration. That's what those youths were paid by the ECOWAS leaders. by Bola Tinubu and his fellow puppets. So we have to understand this. I understand the strategy they were using in Ghana. After their meeting, before their meeting in Ghana, they prepare youths who will go and do demonstration and be saying that we want democracy. That's all they need. They pay those youths and tell them that what all we need is you go out on the street and say we want democracy. That's all we need. They pay those youths to do that job. During the meeting of the ECOWAS meeting in Ghana, Accra, those youths were doing demonstration so that the West will have something to say why they want to invade Niger. So they were doing all those things, those rubbish. Those youths also go out on the street. After that meeting in Ghana, the ECOWAS meeting in Ghana, do you ever see any youth coming out saying that we want democracy? Do you ever see it? You can never see it because they were paid to do it that day. From that day, they have no job again. Unless if they pay them again to go and do it again. But from that day, because ECOWAS know that that day is the day for meeting in Ghana, Accra, and ECOWAS leaders have paid some African youths to do that fake demonstration so that they will have something to say. And they pay some fake journalists to publish it out. All because we are not wise. Ask me right now, who will pay me to go and do demonstration and say I want democracy? If you tell me I want to pay you to go and do demonstration, I'll boof you that moment. The moment you open your mouth to tell me that go and stand on the street say you want democracy, I will poof you. There is no amount of money that you will pay me. So we understand. Sorry guys for. So we understand. Sorry guys for that system hack. I think somebody was trying to interrupt my life, was calling me. Reject, call, reject, call, reject. So those are the puppets. Somebody have my number, was calling me just to interrupt my life, so I understand the system. But tell the person to call again. I don't know why Africans are like this. Somebody was intentionally just trying to interrupt my life, was calling me. Why? When you do this, I block you. You don't understand. Somebody was intentionally doing it just to interrupt my life. Because when you are speaking about this something, there are some even are white peoples who will just keep on tapping, calling me. Some are even white peoples. Some are even my fellow black peoples who will just see me live like this. They don't like what I am saying about white people. They don't like it. Some fellow blacks living in Europe here, they don't like what I say about white peoples. When I say white people are evils, they don't like it. My fellow blacks. But I understand. We understand.